action. I am here. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. I'm creating my little picture I'm doing for people right now and just quite excited. We only have, 17th? So about 3 days left before the cutoff date for Letters by Mama G. So if you have not subscribed, if you aren't a part of the community yet, definitely, links in the bio, and like and subscribe and do all that beautiful things and share this out. This energy today is pretty stinking cool, I think. It's bringing in a lot of interesting transits that are coming in, and the vibration of this energy is, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I really, really do. It's really bringing in a, it's about like stop it, basically stop tolerating what simply drains you because it's familiar. I mean, that's the thing. It's like the astrology is building, it's like it's building towards an action, not an impulsive action, but decisions that restore alignment before the energy can shift more dramatically over the next couple weeks. And it is with the outer planets. So, outer planets don't move fast, it takes them a long time to get around the sun. So, we have for today on the 17th of July, I'm going to call it the lemon test. That's what I'm calling it, the lemon test. Because easy as Sunday morning, you got lemonade, you're just taking it easy, you're just doing your thing. And we're all in Cancer season. And the sun is at 26 degrees in Cancer. And although Cancer season is beginning to wind down and the emotional work, and, it isn't over, but the emotional work certainly isn't. So the moon is in Virgo and shining a light on what isn't working in particular, tangible ways. And Virgo wants efficiency, and it wants, what keeps uncertainty, that stress, what's unnecessarily stressing you out, and what needs to be cleaned up emotionally. That's a big one. So, when it comes to the emotions, when it comes to the financials, and when it comes to um, relationships. And this is one of the last times we're going to experience the moving through Virgo with the South Node, because it's not going to happen for another 18 years. And who knows, we'll all be in another 18 years, right? But this is making it's a very symbolic closing chapter. The old habits of overthinking, overworking, perfectionism, and carrying unnecessary burdens are ready to be released. Now, the Mercury retrograde has dramatically, and stations direct on July the 23rd, the same day the sun enters Leo. Rather than changing ahead, this week asks you to observe what conversations keep repeating, what situations that, never seem to improve, and what problems keep demanding your attention. And some Mercury retrograde isn't asking us to revisit something, sometimes it doesn't want us to revisit things, but sometimes it's asking us to finally remove it and get it the hell out of there. And that's where I feel this is at. It's like, get out of there. you know, why, why are you keeping it, right? So today it's asking you, I'm just going to do this little flower. My mind can't do two things at once. It has a hard time doing that. So I'm going to put my little pen down. I can't draw and talk to you at the same time. I get distracted and then I lose the train of thought. It just doesn't work, right? It just doesn't work. I'm, you know, this is what I'm creating. I'm creating these little pieces of art. Each one is done individually for my Letters from Mama G. And they're whimsical. They're, as I said to people before, I'm not an artist. I use different, I'm using watercolors, and I'm using glitter paints, and I'm using acrylic paint, and to create these, it's on water paper. So doing that, and I'm creating them today. So I will have I'm going to do a few extra ones because the 20th is the cutoff date for August. And I'm going to finish up we dried, Mateus and I dried flowers in the microwave. That was fun. Well, it was fun for me. It wasn't fun for an 11-year-old boy, just saying. He'd rather be out there running, kicking the ball, doing something other than hanging out with mama, doing drying of flowers in the microwave. But that's where I feel this energy. It's really my theme or my idea or the energies that keep coming in. Now, in the 40s, in World War II, yeah, people went off to war and all of that. So put that aside. But it was the communities that were built during that time, the connections that were built during that time, which made it very, very beautiful. Like, women went out and worked in the countryside and took over farmhands jobs. We had special schools that were built for kids coming out of the city into the country. There was such a cool kind of connection that was happening. Like, there's new communities that were being built. And that's what I find what's happening now. Is that new communities are being built, something that's bringing people, out of the digital into the analog, and that's where we are at. We're at everything's digital, everything's online, everything is produced through online measures, and I get it, I use it too, definitely, but there's that analog part, and the analog part is where some of this energy is coming in, even with the outer planets, because the outer planets, when they move extremely slow. Hence, I mean, 248 years for Pluto to get around the sun. And this is where the energies are coming in and connecting. And as we come in and we really start to connect with these energies, this is where we start to look at, and this is where my lemon analogy comes in, is like one of the strongest metaphors today is the lemon. I even have a sticker of a lemonade. Um, it's this worth continually, is this worth continually investing in and looking at the energy? And one of the things is asking yourself the questions about the relationships, about the careers, the financial situations, the projects, the habits, the environment. Some things simply aren't operating the same way that they were meant to operate. And Virgo doesn't judge. Virgo diagnoses. That's what Virgo does. It will diagnose the out of things. Historically, the outer planets alignment, we're entering an extraordinary period where Uranus is trining Pluto. The first time exact in our lifetime. Uranus sextiling Neptune, Neptune sextiling Pluto, Jupiter moving in an opposition with Pluto. There's These aren't just everyday transits. Collectively, personally, they're asking, where is life evolving? This is an evolutionary energy that's taking us into a whole evolutionary energy. When it happened during the 40s, and I don't think it wasn't as exact as it was now. We got to think of, like, after everything, where life went. It went into the atomic age. It went into where all of a sudden everybody was having a car, everybody was buying a house. This is, suburbia was coming in. This is where this new evolutionary energy that's coming in for us is like, where's your future calling you? And where are you forcing yourself to remain in something that has already expired? And I feel like there's a high stress level with this, the anxiety, the exhaustion, the resistance, and the discomfort. One thing, and you'll hear me, I've said it before, and I'll say it again: AI is not going anywhere. Computers aren't going anywhere, right? It's just like the TV when it came into people's houses. No, I don't want a TV. Everybody has a TV in their house. They probably have more than one freaking TV in the house. Computers, where it used to be some big clunky thing for a computer. And now we have laptops and phones that we could do everything on. And it's very different, like most people have phones, most people have computers, printers, all of this. This is where, with this energy, but now it's advancing even more. And with Uranus, it's like, who knows? Like, who knows where this is going to go? And I know people are freaking out over, all of these AI centers and stuff like that. I'm not worried about that. I know people are, and fine. They can go on their horse, they can do that. I'm just looking at it's like, okay, for something like that to happen, it's going to take a while. There's a lot of things that have to go through. The news comes quickly, other things move slowly, and that's what we're at. We're at where things are gonna move slowly in order in the development, slowly yet fast. It's kinda like a weird type of energy. AI, I don't know if you've seen if you're on chat, the new chat, dialogue, very cool. It's very cool. It's getting quite good reviews. I've tried it out and it's like, "Whoa, this is quite cool." And especially for me shooting off ideas because it gives me a response, with what it is. And I always ask it to, like, really, I don't need you to pat my ego. I need to go through this. Is this a good idea? What's this? What's that? What are, what does this look like? Especially when I'm going through some of my ideas for my themes. I have my themes for Letters from Mama G. I'm so happy. Just have to do the artwork up, just have to do the other things that are up. I've changed my letter a few times that I'm writing. I think I'm gonna have to write that on the last day and just have it all written up and printed out. I already have, um, for the paper, what's going to be on the back of the paper, as I did sort of a collagey watercolor thingy for the back of the paper printed out, and then the letter will be printed out on the front of the paper. This is not just, a here you go, spiritual things in a classroom kind of thing. This is stepping into a community, a place where you can love, laugh, and connect. That's the energy that I am creating. And I can feel it's leading me to a whole different place. The other part, as a business person, this is bringing me an income, a steady income. The more people I can get to subscribe and grow, the more it brings in the revenue for me, not only to reinvest into the company, but also in other things that I want to do and, pay the bills. So that I feel is something that is tangible. It's something that it's me, right? I've I've done PDFs. I've put PDFs out there. I've done different things where people can download and pay and they just womp. And so why am I continuing them? Why do I want to continue? Why do I want to continue doing a lot of the workshops when I might get 3 people or no people, right? I mean, this is where with this, it was like you want to, when you open up the doors or you do a business, you want people in the doors. You want people to come in and feel that energy that you've just created. And that's where, and especially with the planets and the movements and the energies, and I'm just like, oh, wait till it gets into Leo season because that's going to be interesting, especially with Jupiter there in an opposition to Pluto. That's going to be mind blowing for a lot of people. Just saying, and it's going to bring in some real radical energy. Now, here we are. This is where it's like, this is where we're coming in. It's just not about surviving. This is about why am I still carrying this? Why am I still doing this? And with Mars sextiling over to Saturn, Mars is beginning a supportive sextile to Saturn. And as I say, when the planets are having, you know what? The happy, right? And Mars and Saturn is kind of a real interesting combo because you get courage is meeting discipline, action is meeting structure, confidence meets responsibility. The universe isn't asking a reckless decision, it's asking for intention. And, what is it that you're doing? What are you creating? And when you start bringing in a discipline with what you're doing, a creativity with your what you're doing. Now, if anybody has watched somebody do a mural, that is so awesome because before they do a mural, they're sketching out there, they're putting things up there, but they're also putting points up there for what they are wanting to create and what they are wanting to draw. It's not like they just throw the paint up there and then up comes the mural. They have they have a plan. There's a plan there. It's a disciplinary plan. Same with if you are doing an art piece, there's usually a plan of how you are setting up the page, and it's like a grid, even though it might look whimsical and you know, fancy or mystical or whatever it is. There is, this is what I need to do, this is how I want to see it, this is how I want to have the eyes or the, you know, the whole bit. There is a particular way of doing it, and that's Saturn. Saturn brings in that structure. You need to have that structure with what you are doing, right? It's like, you know, even when you're building what did I just see? Um oh, it was on one of my videos. I think it was German in Venice. And this guy on the beach was making spears, like these little balls out of sand. And he had to make them out of a structure because he wanted them very cool. And then he put them on top of all these different rocks, right? And it looked, it actually looks really cool. And he knew his art's not going to last because it's sand. If it rains or whatever, and the tide comes in, they're gone. But he had to make them hard enough so that they last for what he was wanting to do in the pictures that he was going to take. And I was just thinking that's such a Mars. Here I'm going to have the courage to put this out. I'm not sure who's going to see it. I'm not sure who knew that the German in Venice is going to film that and he's going to have 20,000 people see the pieces of art that guy just created. You don't know, right? But he had the courage to do it and do the structure in order to put it out. That's the same with my videos. I don't know who's going to see this. You know, I want people to see it. I want people to like and subscribe and put it out there and allow them to, you know, to share it out there. And as it's sharing, you know, maybe it's going to go viral. Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm putting that energy out there, and that's the same way with doing my letters from Mama G. It's like I want this to go out there. I want this to go viral. How I would do it all, I have no freaking way of knowing that right now, but I'm going to create a structure with that. I was even telling Steve I have to change part of where the stuff around me in order to give myself more room for the art supplies that I that I'm pulling out. You know, things like that, right? Things like that are so so important. And creating that structure, and that's where part of this energy is. A lot of people want to go by the seat of their pants, and I've done that before for so many years, and now it's like, "No, I don't wanna go by the seat of my pants, I wanna bring in something that is still loving and whimsical," like, even if you watch how things are in a meadow, it's yeah, it's whimsical and lovely, but there is sort of an architecture structure that goes on in that energy, right? And bringing that forth and bringing that into that alignment, and that's where we're at. That's where this energy is going, and it is positive. Like, it's bringing in some positive. And I know some people I've, you know, I've talked to are like, "Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't wanna do creative things." You know, it's like, it's taking that chance. It's the fool card. You gotta walk off. You don't know where you're gonna walk off, but I can guarantee you that you have this lovely spring that is attached to your backside that'll spring you wherever you need to go. You're not gonna crash land and burn. This is not where this is. This is where it's like it's open, it's coming in. Mercury is going to be going forward on the 23rd, the same day the sun goes into Leo. So Mercury's getting you to look at what needs to leave, get out of here, right? Yeah, there's things that are misaligned. I mean, I've had it with some appointments and stuff like that, but we got it together. You know, we got it together. It was pretty cool. But some things have to go. What is it in your life that has to go? What isn't in your alignment anymore that you thought was? And you're like, oh, but I put all of this in there and I put all of this energy into. I know some of the things that are going to be going in my life and some of the things that I do. as the guru mama, and what's coming in to replace it, right? And it's going to take a little bit to wean it off. It's going to take a little bit for it to move off to the side, and for me to venture into something more, right? And this is where I feel this movement that's coming in, and I'm so passionate about this. Like, honestly, I've never been this, like, I'm just like, like, wanting people to come in and create a community. I love being in a community. I love being in a community that, with different people in there, and sharing and talking, and allowing everybody to come in. And I'm thinking, if this goes the way that Spirit's showing me, and that the divine algorithm is taking me, and that's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it a divine algorithm. I'm not calling it a mundane algorithm. It's a divine one, because it's pulling me into a direction that is of my higher self and a higher discipline. And that's where I feel it is. It allows for this to happen. Some people may not like where some of this is going, and that is perfectly okay. That's on them, and that's not on me, right? The things that I love are very whimsical and cutesy, and yet can be very abstract. I love abstract. I do. I love things that are abstract and different, and things that, sometimes you don't think that matches, but I mean, my house certainly does not match as I'm looking at things. I got a son who sleeps on my day bed because he doesn't have a place to live right now. And I have a throw over a leather chair that is, you have to have the throw on it because the leather is chipping off because it's so old. And then, it's just a whimsical house. It just is. Nothing is put together. Nothing really matches in my house. It just it just is, right? And I love that. I'm not as my brother, if you go my brother Patrick, it's funny because he's extremely conservative man. He's a Capricorn. And his house and his wife, everything is very, I'm gonna say, neutral. It's very nice. It's very clean. It's comfortable, but it's very minimalist. That's what it is. I'm not a minimalist. I am really not a minimalist. I was looking, I have cupboards in here that are packed full, even though I've let go of a lot of stuff to move in here. But this is where it's at, and this is what my letters from Mama G are all about. They're whimsical, and they're fancy, and they're abstract, and they're wanting you to come in and step into a place that gets you to just sit your butt down and read a letter and enjoy the art, do the journaling because there's some journal prompts in there. Listen to the music. You might not like all the music. You might say, this is okay. This isn't for me. Because my music taste, my son's music taste might not be yours, right? Um, that's the whole thing. It's like you're discovering something new. You're discovering something that you have not done before. And that's where this energy is. And as we are stepping forward with this, we have that Venus in Virgo. Venus remains in Virgo, a placement where she tends to question value. And today, the oops, um, am I receiving what I am giving? Does this relationship nourish me? Does this project reflect my true worth? And is the energy I'm investing produce meaningful results? And I'm going to say, yeah, it does. I just have to do something here. This is my life. People call me and I'm just like, whoops. There we go. And that's the whole thing, is it's taking that meaningfulness, taking that, especially since it's, the south node there, and the nodes are going to be changing, I believe, next week. This is looking at what is the energy that I'm investing? What is it that I want to invest in? What is where am I taking all of this as I am trying to my son took Steve out and there we go. Ceremony for dad to get lottery. No. Because so this is where the energy is coming into. This is where we are stepping into something new, something transformational. And we have a fear. There's a fear that is taking that leap, right? Taking that leap, taking that step, knowing, that hesitation. It's that hesitation and having that hesitation. That's the thing, is that we're hesitant to do that move, to go there. You might have made a connection. Like there's a few people that said, "Hey, I'm going to sign up." Okay, but they haven't, right? Information was sent to them. Well, I got to do a follow up. Are you going to sign up? Are you not? If you don't want to, cool, that's fine, right? I'm just going by what you said and going from there, because if you want the August letter, you got to sign up by the 20th. Otherwise, if you sign up after the 20th, you're on the list for the September one, which is fine as well, right? That's the follow-up. That's the stepping in. A lot of people don't want to do that. I've gained a lot of courage over the year of following up on people and saying, "Hey, you didn't pay. Hey, are you sending that? Hey, it didn't go through. Did you write my name properly? Did you press send?" Little things like that. Doing the sometimes you just got to do those follow-ups. Some things I don't like doing it. It's like, "Ugh," but it gives you that courage. You're stepping in and doing things that you don't normally do. And that's where it's at. And there is a lot that's going on in the world around us. There's a lot of things that are going to be exploding. And well, I know many of you didn't watch it, but I did watch Trump's speech last night on what's going on. So there is a lot of energy that's coming in, that's bringing in those transformations and bringing in those changes, right? I feel super duper whatever. This is where things are coming in and bringing in the transformations and the changes and stepping into a new world, a new world, right? And I think for many people, and as I say this, I know I can just feel there's people out there, there's some of my clients out there who are like, as I always say this, I'd say 99.9% of my clients are all in the manifester to manifester generator energy. And I find there's no fucking excuse for you guys to get out there and do your shit. That's the truth. The only thing that holds you back is you. The only thing that holds you back is from you doing that work. And when you come and when people come and say, "I don't want to post on," like, fuck off. Like, honestly, fuck off. The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm a projector, totally different energy. I have to step out there. I'm promoting, I'm doing it. Well, I'm not you. No, you're not me. But this is an energy that's going to help you to create, that's going to get you out there. The only fear you have is fear of yourself. The only fear that you have is fear of, "Oh, I'm going to fail," or, "Oh, I'm going to make it big." If you fail, you fail. If this fails, at least I tried. At least I put my ass out there, right? Many things I've put my ass out there and they fell flat. Many classes I put out there and nobody came in. Nobody. And I'm like, "Well, what the hell? Why isn't this going? I've been at markets where I didn't make a dime. I've sat there, I've done the talking and everything else, didn't have that alignment. But I went out there, I did it, and that's what I'm saying for you guys to do. Get your fucking ass out there and do it. Promote, get out there. You don't like AI, you don't like social media or whatever. That's where we're at. It's not changing, it's not going anywhere. Utilize it. Utilize that what is there. It is there to assist you, it is there to help you to grow. How you want it to grow and how you want to put that investment out there, it's totally up to you. Totally up to you. I want everybody to be out there to be profitable. I want everybody out there to grow and to create and connect to the communities that they need to connect to in order to make a life that is profitable, loving, caring, and filled with laughter. That's where the community is. I'm off my soapbox. I want you all to have a great day, right? And I want you to have a fabulous, fabulous day. And may the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you. And the only thing that is stopping you from doing whatever you're doing is you. God bless, and the goddess bless. Bye bye.